you're watching COVID 360, a show where we get you a 360-degree view of the COVID-19 situation and also offer you news that you can use. I'm Sneha Mordani. First up, 30 crore Indians only in the priority group were to get both shots of the vaccine against COVID-19. Less than 10% of this group have got 2 doses of the vaccine. To call India's vaccination drive sluggish would actually be an understatement. We do the number crunching here.
अभी पहले जो 30 करोड़ लोग हैं, यानी पहले 30 करोड़ लोग में क्या है, पहला 1 करोड़ जो हेल्थ वर्कर्स हैं, दूसरे 2 करोड़ लोग वो हैं जो कि दूसरे नंबर पे प्रायोरिटी वाले जो फ्रंट लाइन वर्कर्स हैं। ये 50 साल से ऊपर के हर व्यक्ति को उस कैटेगरी में रखा है। ये करीब 26 करोड़ के करीब लोग बैठते हैं। ऐसे अभी 30 करोड़ लोगों को प्रायोरिटाइज किया गया है।
2 months left for the target of 30 crore vaccinations, but India is far, far behind the target. The government's own target of getting 30 crore people 2 doses of the vaccine by July looks like a distant dream now. Here is the reality. Of the 30 crore priority group, less than 3 crore have got both doses of the vaccine. This includes over 64 lakh healthcare workers, 77 lakh frontline workers and over 1 crore 49 lakh senior citizens in India. Apart from that, over 65 lakh Indians between the age group of 45 to 60 have got both doses of the vaccine, but they never were a part of the priority group. In totality, 3 crore 57 lakh 71,736 Indians have got both doses of the vaccine. It's been 114 days since the vaccination drive began. The government, boasting of 17 crore vaccinations, has invited flack.
We don't have the manufacturing to do this. We don't have enough vaccine. We don't have the distribution to do this. We can't administer the number of doses required. So there's been very poor planning in the vaccination campaign. Even the conservative plan to vaccinate 300 million people doesn't look like we're going to be able to achieve.
The centre says that more than 1 crore vaccines are available with the states, but severe shortages writ large. Globally, concerns have been raised about the slow pace of vaccinations in India. Fitch Ratings has warned that India's slow pace of vaccination means the country could remain vulnerable to further waves of COVID-19 once the current surge subsides. The Lancet has said that India has vaccinated less than 2% of its population because of the slow pace of the vaccination drive. The Lancet says the botched up vaccination drive must be rationalized and implemented. As per the data that has been given out by the Government of India, 20 lakh Indians between the ages of 18 to 45 have got first dose of the vaccine. This means that on an average, 2 lakh individuals are getting vaccinated every single day in this particular age bracket. 55 crore Indians are between the ages of 18 to 45. Up until now, just 0.36% of this age category people have got 1 dose of the vaccine. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani for India Today. A lot of information is floating around periods and vaccinations and also whether those on their period can take a shot. Here's all the information women wanting to get a jab need to have. There is a lot of conversation online about women, periods and vaccinations. There are other queries also that women have around taking the vaccine. Let's try and resolve this one by one. Should you get a shot of the vaccine when on period? As we come close to the 3rd phase of the vaccination drive, it is absolutely imperative to know that you can take the shot against COVID-19 even when you are on your periods. There is no data to suggest that vaccine has got anything to do with women and their menstruation cycles getting disturbed or disrupted because of the vaccine. COVID vaccination does not have any effect on menstruation. There is no data to show that COVID vaccine affects the periods and its flow. The government too, in fact, has stepped in to clarify. So all women above the age of 18, irrespective of whether they are on the period or whether they're having any hormonal changes in the body, can get vaccinated and must. Can a breastfeeding mother or a lactating mother take the shot? If you have delivered a baby and you're lactating, then delay the jab until the time you stop feeding the baby. But pregnant women and lactating women have not been a part of the trials, so the general advice is that they should not be taking the shot right now. The data given by the Government of India shows that indeed more people are requiring critical care if they are COVID positive as compared to what COVID positive patients were requiring in the first wave of the pandemic. Take a look. There is a steep spike in cases and a steeper spike in demand for critical care in India. The government says 500,000 people are in critical care in India right now, getting treatment in ICUs and hospitals across the country. Close to 50,000 COVID patients in India are currently in intensive care units. More than 14,500 are on ventilator support. More than 137,000 patients are currently on oxygen support. The government says 1.34% of the active caseload is in ICU. 0.39% of them are on ventilators. 3.7% of them are on oxygen support. Compare this with the first wave of the pandemic that peaked in September, where about 23,000 patients were in ICUs. 4,000 of them were on ventilators. 40,000 required oxygen support. The surge in demand has impacted critical care.
The massive second wave of COVID has created a huge shortfall in critical care beds and ventilators. As a result, there's also a dearth of critical care specialists and ICU nurses due to both the increased numbers and because many of them have mild COVID due to continuous exposure.
The shortage of oxygen cylinders, hospital beds and ICUs has led to an increase in deaths, and not because the virus has caused severe disease during the second wave.
Because of this huge surge in cases, definitely one has to admit that there is some degree of decrease in the quality of care that is being provided because of the number of patients rushing into the emergency and doctors having a tough time. And that may also be affecting morbidity and mortality.
Doctors also explain when in hospital, medications have little role to play and panic around them is unnecessary.
There's a huge number of patients who come and demand to be treated with remdesivir, with things like tocilizumab, itolizumab, and the new drugs bevacizumab and so many others. Depending upon the involvement of other organs other than the lungs, depending upon your symptoms, and then depending upon your severity of the disease, please let the physician decide the course of action.
More than 2.18 crore people have been found infected with the virus in India up until now. The government's own data suggests that more than 2% of all the people infected so far have been admitted to an ICU. More than 92% of infected people have recovered from this infection without requiring any critical care support. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani for India Today. Well, if there is a family member down with COVID-19, a lot of care has to be taken by the caregiver and also by other family members. Here are a few suggestions on what needs to be done if you have a COVID-19 patient at home. How can you now take care of a patient at home if you have somebody who is suffering from COVID-19? Here is what the Center for Disease Control and Prevention recommends. Make sure the person who is sick drinks a lot of fluids and takes enough rest. Have the person who is sick use a separate bedroom and bathroom. If possible, have the person who is sick stay in their own sick room or area and away from other members of the family. You must try and stay at least 6 feet away from the patient suffering from COVID-19. Improve ventilation because that helps remove respiratory droplets from the air. Caregivers and others who have been in close contact with someone who has COVID-19 should stay home. Wash dishes and utensils used by the patient with hot water and soap. You must try and use gloves at all times if you're handling clothes or utensils of the patient. Discard the gloves immediately after using it. The person who's suffering from COVID must also wear a mask at all times, especially when he or she is around other people in the house. Clean high-touch surfaces and objects regularly. For example, you must be cleaning surfaces like doorknobs, tables, handles, light switches, phones, remote controls and countertops. If someone in your home is sick or someone who has COVID-19 has been in your home in the last 24 hours, clean and disinfect your home. It's possible that if there was a patient in your house, you have these germs lingering around on common surfaces and hence disinfecting becomes extremely important. Remdesivir is an expensive injection and hard to get. What's worse is that virus vultures are even churning out fake Remdesivir. Not to worry, we are going to be showing you how to distinguish between a fake Remdesivir and a real one. In the current situation, there's a great deal of demand for drugs like Remdesivir, azithromycin and tocilizumab. And the desperate need has led to a flourishing black market and also a market for fake drugs, especially for Remdesivir injections. The police in a handful of states has busted such rackets selling these fake drugs, especially Remdesivir injections. Here is how you can identify a fake Remdesivir from a real one. First of all, fake Remdesivir branding is one way that you can identify. The real Remdesivir drug has RX written next to the name of the drug, unlike the fake one. Some fake Remdesivirs that have been identified do not have RX written next to the name of the drug on the package in the fake ones. There are several typographical errors. For example, the genuine package reads as 100 mg for a vial, while one on the fake one going round has 100 mg for a vial written on it. V for vial is in small caps in the fake one. There are quite a few capitalization errors that have been found in the fake drugs. For use in written on the genuine package becomes for use in on the fake drug package. F for 4 is in big caps in the real one. There is another capitalization error in the text identifying the drug maker. Heterolapse. The fake Remdesivir package reads India as in small I. There is also a spelling error in the fake Remdesivir injections that are being now found in the market. The spelling error is of the state name Telangana. You can also look for alignment errors in the fake Remdesivir package, which is going to help you identify that this indeed is not the genuine one. Some of these fake products have alignment error in the brand name of the product. Look at the gap on the package of this fake and the genuine Remdesivir injection. The fake vial has more gap. The genuine Remdesivir packages have warning written in red. The fake ones have warning written in black. Just before the warning label, key information, which is COVID-4, and that's the brand name, is manufactured under the license from Gilead Sciences Inc. is missing on the fake injection package. Well, that is all we could pack in this episode of COVID 360. Stay safe, be well. Thanks for watching.